Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is co-creation at its best. You will notice. Are you knowing what you are wanting? Now, right now, right now, right now, where all of your power is, right now, where your ability to focus is, right now, where you are, because of what you're thinking, emanating a frequency, an influence, you might say, that law of attraction is responding to. And so everything about this moment in time, or any moment in time, is more powerful than most people realize, because in this moment, by whatever you are thinking, and therefore by whatever you are feeling, you are integrating not just into your world at large, but into all that is at large. In other words, your frequency matters, and it is reflected back to you eventually by manifestations, but it is reflected back to you in the moment by emotion, which is guidance, which lets you know your blending, your balance, your energy. So already in this first minute of conversation, you have noticed that we are weird. We're not going to talk to you in such normal physical human terms as we are in the broader perspective of vibration and energy and leverage and power and clarity and influence. The thing that you most want to be influential about is your own point of attraction, and you have so much control about what comes to you, because you have control about where you give your attention, what you ponder, how long you stay focused here or there. By deliberately choosing the subjects that feel good when you ponder them, so that you focus longer until there is more vibrational momentum, and therefore more power, more connection with source, therefore more leverage, therefore more positive influence. The first thing that you influence is your state of being, your personal point of attraction. And once you get a handle on that, and it doesn't take long, and you're consistent about the way you approach life, you're consistent about the way you respond to things, you're consistent about the well-being that you feel no matter what, your freakouts become fewer, and your substantial knowing what you're doing becomes more frequent, and your love is consistent, and your concern becomes less and less. As you get a handle on your approach to life, which for most of you means, to a large part, your response to life, then what begins to happen is you begin to see the benefit of caring about how you feel, which gives you the ability to align with the whole of who you are, which gives you a leverage or an influence that we can't even define mathematically, but you will be able to define in the way life is unfolding for you, in your relationships, in even the new relationships that you have with so many people that you are encountering on a daily basis. You are so much more than you know here in these physical bodies, and that larger part of you, sometimes you call that part of you your soul. We have been calling it for quite a long time your inner being. That part of you is always flowing with you, while often you may be oblivious to that. But your emotions will help you to know how in sync or not in sync, how aligned or misaligned, how allowing or not allowing, how much you are allowing yourself and your broader self, your inner being, to be integrated in this moment. Your inner being is always flowing to you, but your receptivity of that is really what we want to talk about here today. Just because this well-being is shining to you does not mean you're letting it in. And if you're angry, your anger means you're not. If you're frustrated, your frustration means you're pinching it off too. If you are having one of those moments where you are feeling so much love you can hardly stand it, that means that you are in sync with who you really are. And the coupling of you and you is really what the art of allowing really is. The coupling of you and you is really where your vibrational clarity is. It's where your power is. It's where the influence that you came here to offer is. It's where you become part of the solutions instead of fanning the flames of the problems. It's where you become the you that you've intended when you made the decision to come into this physical body. So you were source energy before you focused into this physical body, and the larger part of you still is that source energy. But here you are, magnificent you. Here you are, living your life, focused upon a lot of things and offering a lot of vibration. And so we don't think there's anything more important for you to understand than how it feels when you offer vibration that is in harmony with the whole of who you are, with the love of who you are, of the well-being of who you are, and how you feel when you're pinching that off. Most of you have been listening to us for a while, yes? And most of you know everything that we just said to you, although we chose a different way of saying it because we wanted your undivided attention. And most of you have a very magnificent platform that you are standing on, and you are in the place where you are deliberate creators and you are living life happily ever after, mostly. But here today we are really so appreciative of your willingness to play with us, because we know that together we will take thought beyond that which it has been before, that you will discover new insights for yourself. Often it's because of something that someone who is sitting in the hot seat is expressing, or something that we are explaining back to them. Sometimes the insights will come directly to you because of this vibrational atmosphere and because of the momentum that we will accomplish here together today. You will be receptive more than usual, and so ideas will begin flowing to you too. Sometimes it will be an idea of how to contribute here by sitting here. Sometimes it will be an idea that flows to you that is the solution to something that you've been pondering. In other words, this is a wonderful opportunity for becoming a vibrational match to who you really are, which is what we are calling the receiving mode. Here in your physical body, life causes you to explore and to evaluate. That's just who you are, and to consider, and to, most important, come to conclusions of your preferences. And that matters so much. Most of you do not give yourself enough credit for the preferences that are born in you. You want to yield to what others think rather than understand the power of your own desires that are coming from your life experience. So when that preference radiates from you, we often call it a rocket of desire, because it shoots out when you're least expecting it, and usually when there is some sort of contrast that really is clarifying for you what you don't want, which also clarifies what you do want. And so this vibration radiates from you while usually you're not able to maintain it because it's not the frequency that you usually hang around in. It's like a little sort of mini quantum leap where the situation has just caused you to know for a moment what you want. And when that rocket of desire radiates, your inner being understands it fully, embraces it fully, becomes it fully, holds the vibrational frequency of it fully and forever for you. Now that rocket, as it emanates, you can't see it or hear it or smell it or taste it or touch it. You can feel it if you're paying attention, but it is a vibrational beginning of a creation that has not evolved enough that you can actually see it or hear it or smell it or taste it or touch it, while you may very well know it. So we've been wanting to create a scenario where you can accept the reality and the importance of that desire that is coming forth from you, and how it is received by your inner being, and by the focus of your inner being, held in a vibrational, you could call it a holding place, you could call it a gestation place, you could call it a place of well-being. We've been calling it your vortex. It's this non-place but state of being where all of your desires are vibrational and real, and because of the attention of your inner being, continuing to evolve, not so different from the gestation of the baby in the womb. And as these rockets that you are emanating continually are received and understood by your inner being, they are an important part of you because you gave birth to them. And while you mostly as humans aren't ready to recognize them as reality, they are. In fact, this vortex is a reality that is more real than any reality that you have allowed yourself to manifest. So today we want to talk not only about how this vibrational reality, how robust it is, and how full of so many things that you care about are, but how you go about, by your deliberate and intentional focus, by utilizing your guidance system, how you go about turning those thoughts to things, witnessing the evolution, the never-ending evolution. Just like a lot of life happened before you actually launched that rocket, a lot of that rocket of desire, a lot of that becoming is going to become before it is obvious to you that it is becoming. But you could, if you knew what you were doing, you could observe it in its earlier stages, and you could enjoy it in all of its becoming before it bursts out into the manifested scene. And this is what we want so much for you to understand, because the majority of your life is about that part of it. You say, I want this, and then you often remain in a state of dissatisfaction until you see it. And your attitude is, I'll believe that when I see it. And we want you to come to know you've got to believe it before you see it. And the more you believe in it, because you're basing it on a different criteria than its full manifestation, oh, you can see plenty of full manifestations by looking around at what is already created. But there's no juice in what's been created. The juice is in what's becoming. And your satisfaction in life is always about you being conscious and aware of the becoming. You are creators. You are creators. And you are interested in creating. And you think that you are creators who are interested in creations. But you are not. You are creators who are interested in creating. Because it is the in the moment, hands-on, hands in the clay, conscious awareness, clarity of the creating that is where the satisfaction is, you see. So, now you know everything we know. We've enjoyed this immensely. We're eager to talk with you about whatever you want to talk about. It is our promise to you that we'll get you all in on this, you will see. And don't worry about us, we will wedge our message in the crack. So here we go. Begin right here. Like by trial and error that you do it. Yes. You practice it. You practice yourself into believing. You practice yourself into believing what you want to believe. Now that's troubling to some people because they want to be realists. And Esther said in the beginning to us on many occasions, Abraham, that's true. It's true, and therefore I believe I should give my attention to it. And we said there are a lot of things that are true that you want, and there are a lot of things that are true that you don't want. We would be more selective than just saying that it's true. So how do you make something true? How do you make yourself the winner of the lottery? How do you make yourself the winner of the award? How do you make yourself the happiest person you know? How do you make yourself that? By focusing and feeling and focusing and feeling. But it takes a handful of premises. You got to know it's a vibrational universe, do you? Yeah. You got to know that you're a vibrational being. Do you know that?
Absolutely.
You got to know what your emotions mean. Do you know what your emotions mean? Your emotions are telling you what your vibrational proximity is to the things you want and to who you really are. There isn't anything else to know. You have to know that you have the ability to focus. And then most of all, and this is the part that we've really been bringing home for you today, most of all, after you know that you have the ability to focus, you have to practice your ability to focus. You have to practice the focusing. And once you practice the focusing and then see the results, and practice the focusing and see the results, and practice the focusing and see the results, in time you come to understand it doesn't matter what the object of my attention is, the universe reacts the same way. When I line up with it, when I become a vibrational match to it, then the pipeline between me and it is open, and some way, somehow, through the path of least resistance and in the timing that is perfect, I'm going to rendezvous with whatever it is. That's just the way that it works, you see. No exceptions. You're not the exception, and what you want isn't the exception. Everything that you want comes to you through that, you see.
Beautiful.
So this will be easy for you because you've already discovered self-discipline. We just want you to apply your self-discipline to your thought rather than to your action, to your thought. We want you to care about the emotional manifestation results first and foremost and last and only and middle. We want how you feel to be what matters, how you feel to be what matters, how you feel to be what matters. So that this moment and this moment and this moment, Esther so wanted Luke to know that, but she knew this was not the teaching moment. She can't teach him about alignment when he's out of alignment. And if she tries, all it will do is make him effort more and dig a bigger pipeline to what he doesn't want. That was not the teaching moment, you see. And yet, that's what most of you are, when most of you try to teach yourself something, is when you're not feeling good. You're looking for the solution. Don't look for the solution. Look for the alignment. It will bring the solution.
That's clear. Perfect.
We agree.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.